Continuation of the first phase of the national campaign for immunization against COVID-19. The Ministry of Labor announces the availability of 1,683 job opportunities in the private sector. And Oman oil price exceeds $57 per barrel. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency Gotabaya Rajapaksa, President of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, on the occasion of his country's independence anniversary. The tender board awarded in its meeting projects and additional works for development projects in various fields with a cost exceeding 15 million Omani riyals. The projects included supplying laboratory equipment, blood transfusion services, supplying computers for school students of the social security category, provision of regular maintenance services, and provision of spare parts for medical equipment in the Royal Hospital. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Dr. Saeed bin Mohammed Al-Saqri, Minister of Economy, Chairman of the Tender Board. The Ministry of Health will vaccinate a new target group from the community in continuation of the first phase of the national campaign for immunization against COVID-19 from Sunday, February the 7th. The vaccine, manufactured by AstraZeneca in collaboration with the University of Oxford, will be administered to a new target group. The campaign in this period is targeting the elderly aged 65 and above in all governorates of the Sultanate, regardless of whether they are healthy or suffering from any chronic diseases. The vaccine will be given at the previously assigned immunization centers in each respective governorate. The ministry notes that the current vaccine does not cover persons who have received the first dose of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, and the date of their second dose will be announced later. The Ministry of Health announced that the total number of COVID-19 cases registered in the Sultanate reached 134,856, while the total number of deaths reached 1,532. The total recovered cases reached 127,169, which is 94.3% of the total recovery rate. The ministry indicated that the total number of inpatients during the 24 hours reached 95, among which 25 are in intensive care units. A call for observing health guidelines has become more critical with the rise of COVID-19 cases once again in Oman. Health workers once again return to their relentless efforts to fight against a second wave of the novel coronavirus. The pandemic is not yet over yet, a message that was broadcasted to the community, warning them not to lower their guards yet and urging them to continue to adhere to COVID-19 health guidelines and protect themselves and the larger community as well. Maintaining social distancing, wearing masks, and regularly washing hands with soap will remain a habit that we must keep until the herd immunity is achieved through the vaccination programs that currently target vulnerable members of our society. Still to come in our news bulletin. Baby pandas in China make their debut ahead of the Lunar New Year. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The Ministry of Labor announced the availability of 1,683 job opportunities in the private sector, including 744 new job opportunities and 939 opportunities that are still vacant through the Job Opportunities Service through the ministry's website. Oman oil price April delivery recorded an increase today by 83 cents and amounting to $57.72. The average price of Oman crude oil February delivery amounted to $50 for the barrel, increasing by $6.17 compared to the price of last January. Asyad Group signed the Neptune Declaration on seafarer well-being and crew change. The Neptune Declaration aims to minimize the cruise time on ships, respond to international call to change the ship crew from time to time. It also focuses on maintaining a high health protocol to combat the impacts of COVID-19. Iraqi Foreign Minister Fuad Hussein flew to Iran for talks with his Iranian counterpart Mohammad Jawad Zarif today. Hussein landed in Tehran in the morning before traveling to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to meet Zarif. The two greeted each other by touching elbows and posed for photographs. On Monday, Zarif had said one way to bridge an impasse with Washington over the Iran-US nuclear deal was for an EU official to organize their steps to restore the 2015 pact abandoned in 2018 by then-President Donald Trump. It was the first time Zarif had hinted Iran might relent in its demand that the United States ease economic sanctions before Tehran would resume compliance. The Biden administration has insisted Iran return to compliance before it would do so, and the U.S. State Department reacted coolly to the suggestion, although a U.S. official said the stance should not be seen as rejection. The World Health Organization team member zoologist Peter Daszak said they are looking forward to meeting with all the key people in Wuhan. The WHO team's visit to the Wuhan Institute of Virology is a highlight of their mission to gather data and search for clues as to whether the virus originated and how it spread. One of China's top virus research labs, the institute built an archive of genetic information about the coronavirus after the 2003 outbreak of severe acute respiratory syndrome. That has led to unproven allegations that it may have a link to the original outbreak of COVID-19 in Wuhan in late 2019. As the baby pandas were presented to the cameras, one appeared shy and covered its eyes with both paws when it saw the crowd, while the other went rogue and crawled away from its keepers before getting caught. The black and white fluff balls are making their first public appearance in a playground with New Year decorations including lanterns, Chinese nuts, paper cards and flags at the China Conservation and Research Center for Giant Panda in Sichuan province. A number of bamboo baskets with the Chinese character Fu, meaning good fortune and blessings, on them were prepared for the pandas in accordance with the tradition of adults giving red envelopes with money inside to children during the Lunar New Year as a way of giving them good wishes and blessings. The pandas' age ranges from 4 months to 6 months, and all of them were the fruits of natural mating. As of December last year, there were 44 panda cubs worldwide, and more than half of them were bred in China. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main headlines once again. A new target group from the community are to be vaccinated from Sunday in continuation of the first phase of the national campaign for immunization against COVID-19. The Ministry of Labor announces the availability of 1,683 job opportunities in the private sector. And Oman oil price exceeds $57 per barrel. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.